Welcome, everybody! Stop it. Freaking stop it right now. I am living in Seattle. It's like living in that movie Contagion or Outbreak. That's what it's like around here. I do not need you fake coughing on my one outlet for like happiness right now.
I don't know if I should even be talking to you through a video stream right now because I'm pretty sure the coronavirus is able to go through your feed from Seattle, transferring out to me.
I know. You know what? I have been battling a head cold. To my current knowledge, it is not the coronavirus, but I have no way of getting tested because, contrary to what people may have heard on TV, there are not millions of testing kits being sent to Washington to test people out here. It's been a little bit of a what the hell are we supposed to do now situation, which has kind of left everybody in the wind. So I'm not really sure.
What you're supposed to be doing right now is not dying. That's essentially what you're told.
If that's what I'm supposed to be doing, then I am winning at life right now. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. We promise that this show is not entirely dedicated to the coronavirus because everyone, I'm sure, has heard enough about the coronavirus the last of my lifetime. But it is here. It's in our lives, and so we will probably talk a little bit about it tonight. And there's a lot of nerd news that actually involves the coronavirus. So there's no way to get around that this corona outbreak that we got going on here is not funny. It's not a meme. It's real. It's here, and I think we're gonna have to deal with it now. I think the next month is going to be real interesting in the good old Earth and US of A. So we'll see. But on that note, welcome everybody to episode 199, the contagion free zone, at least that we know of. That is the Geek Dad Report. I'm Brian West, the hostess, who hopefully doesn't have coronavirus.
And I am Ryan, who I have not actually had coronavirus or anyone around me. So there was one kid in the school district, and that was enough for them to shut down our entire school district.
I think I've had the Dos Equis virus, but I don't think I've gotten the coronavirus yet.
Oh, no, it was a kid's parent who had gone to a hospital and was exposed to coronavirus, and that was enough to shut down our entire school district.
Jeez. Well, we're, like I said, I'm here in the good old lovely Seattle, Puget Sound area. We currently have 3 massive school districts closed, and looks like probably the rest of the school districts will be following suit. So, if anybody wants to know what it's like to live in Seattle right now, it's a little chaotic. It's just...
How's your toilet paper situation, Brian?
Mine's fine. I bought a case of toilet paper from Costco exactly 3 weeks ago, so a little fortuitous on my part. And I'm good. One case of Costco toilet paper lasts my entire family like a month and a half. I don't understand these people who were buying 40 cases of toilet paper because even if they did a quarantine, I think the longest somebody was quarantined in China was like 3.5 weeks. And if you go through 36 cases of toilet paper in 3.5 weeks, you need to rethink your diet and what you eat.
You guys, man, we get all of our toilet paper from Costco too. My kid just must poop a lot because I don't know how we go through toilet paper so fast in my house. So,
possible. They could be triple wipers.
Squares, like you get like 3 squares.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna put I'm gonna assign numerical values to each one. I'll be like, you get $17 worth of toilet paper. That is 6 squares. But it's going to be random. So on one square, I might put $1, and another square, I might put $7. So, it's kind of luck of the draw how much toilet paper you get to use.
Yeah.
And then on one square of toilet paper, it's just going to say hose. That is the bankruptcy square. If you get that, you got to go out back and just get your butt hosed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the water, I have a couple cases of water, but I don't understand why everyone's buying all the water because at no point have we've heard that the virus is in the water supply and or that our utilities will be shut off anytime soon.
The water supply?
I don't know. I think people think that we're gonna lose water, but here's my thing. Even if they did quarantine, let's say we had a national quarantine, right? Let's say the whole United States says we're shutting shit down for 3 weeks. They would still have essential personnel like have to monitor things. We'd bring in the National Guard and we would monitor things like power stations and water stations and probably cable stations because you can quarantine people for 3 weeks and you could fix that. But if you quarantine people, shut off their power, water, and cable, you're gonna have riots.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna be worse than the coronavirus.
It's going to turn into Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and you got Barter Town.
Dude, it's almost like that at Costco right now.
All you just need is Tina Turner to come out and just start making people go spin the wheel.
I'm telling you, man, they're going to start. Costco's new plan is they're going to put a giant cage in the toilet paper section. 2 people go in, 1 person comes out with the toilet paper. That's how it's going to work. Oh, God. Yeah, listen, we know that coronavirus is no laughing matter. Hopefully no one who's watching this or listening has had anyone who's, had really bad case of it. So we're only laughing because it's just crazy, and I don't know any other way to deal with it at this point.
I was told to stay home from work for a full week because of my kid's school district getting shut down. And there was like a 99.9% possibility that nobody even got close to my kids.
Well, but I'm in the service industry, so I deliver things to places, and like half the businesses I've gone to are half the staff is gone. I mean, we have in Washington we've got Boeing, Microsoft, Facebook, Google, Amazon, obviously, and almost every one of those companies who have people that can work from home, they've had them work at home. I mean, there's like no traffic. It's weird. You're just driving around. There's nobody on the roads. I mean, the media is exaggerated a little bit, and this isn't a war on the media. I do think the media tends to do a decent job at, of what they're supposed to do. I mean, they're supposed to cover it, but there were some reports that like Seattle is an absolute ghost town. That is not true. There are still people walking around. You can go to any restaurant, and there's still people there. We went and saw this last weekend. We went and saw Onward, and went to the theater, and it wasn't packed like a Pixar movie normally would, but it was about half full. And there's quite a few people at the movies at 11 o'clock in the morning. So, it's not like people are afraid to go into the streets, but it's definitely, there's just not a lot of information, so people are kind of worried and they just don't know what's going on.
Well, I don't want to get too deep into what I really honestly feel about
let's just say that there's a real extreme lack of national leadership, and when your coach is, when all the basketball players are asking like, "Hey, coach, what are we supposed to do?" And the coach is like, "We already won the game. There's no reason to play. Don't worry about it." And you're like, "It's the first quarter. Like, we haven't won the game yet." No, we won. We won by 30. Everything's great. Don't worry about it.
Our administration is like Lucy, like that keeps like pulling the football away before Charlie Brown tries to kick it, and just to see Charlie Brown fall down and laugh. You
guys. And I don't want to, like you said, I don't want to turn this into a political rant about anything. But if anybody wants a really interesting read, there is the New York Times, I think it's New York Times or maybe the New York Post, broke an article about how Washington State actually was able to find the very first case of coronavirus and release it. How that came to pass and how it was against, they had to actually go against the CDC and the White House to get this information out. It will probably anger you, but it is a very interesting fact. If you're wondering like, how did it get this bad so fast? There was 6 weeks when people knew about things and nobody did anything, and that's why we are in the situation we're in right now. So hey,
there's some very smart people out there that are trying to do the right thing, at least. So
yeah, all I'll say is anybody who thinks this is a hoax, it's not a hoax. Anybody thinks it's just the flu, it's not just the flu. It's very contagious. There's a lot of things about it that we just don't know. It could, right now it's not fatal to kids, which is really nice. It's mostly fatal. Most people have a mild case, which is really nice. But I mean, these things have a way of mutating and becoming worse. And so anyway, there's a lot of really good articles that explain it better than I can about why measures right now are important, why this isn't a hoax, why the world is worried, and why we should all try and take precautions. So I don't know. I guess just wash your hands a lot. Everybody keeps saying that. Try and stay away from large crowds. And if you're in Washington, you're absolutely going to stay away from large crowds because they've been banned for the next 30 days. But just But the other thing to remember too is, something else that could happen that's dangerous is we could collapse the economy if we all just decide to not do anything at all. So, be smart, take precautions, but don't be afraid to go grab something to eat if
Wash
you're
your
hungry.
hands.
Wash your hands. Go into if you go to a local restaurant and get food, well, go get your food. I mean, even if you don't want to sit in the restaurant, call in an order, a takeout order, get it, go. With all these, like, especially in Seattle, one of the things we're seeing is with all the people working from home, that's great for people who get to work from home, but all the local businesses that rely on people eating lunch and catering events and all these things, man, they're not doing so well. So,
especially your local Chinese food restaurant, because I hear that people are actually like
being super racist. Yeah.
Those even less. So
yes, and also this is not called the Wuhan virus; it is the coronavirus. We're not going to listen. Did China not do enough to contain this early on and get out information? Absolutely, but to try and pin this as like a Chinese thing and blame Chinese people because of a virus is just stupid. So don't do it.
Yeah, but other than that, we do have some nerdy stuff to talk about. That's not depressing.
Well, we do have some. Yeah. Well, let's get. Okay, since we're talking Corona, let's get all the Corona news out of the way. One, if you're a fan of the NBA, tough shit. It's been canceled. 3 NBA players tested positive tonight for the coronavirus, so the NBA has suspended the NBA season indefinitely. What does that mean? I'm not sure. I'm not an NBA guy since they stole my freaking Sonics, but yeah, that's bad.
It's just the start.
Yeah.
Baseball's next.
Yeah. More. Yeah. Well, we can't have public events in Seattle right now. So the first 2 weeks of Mariners baseball season, they haven't announced whether they're going to play even in Seattle or if they're just going to play to an empty Safeco Field. We don't know yet. What else? Oh yeah, Tom Hanks and his lovely wife. What's her name?
Not Tom Hanks.
Rita Wilson have both been tested positive for coronavirus. They're in Australia. Nobody knows how they got it, but it's Tom Hanks. But him and his wife both seem like they are doing well. It seems like they have a very mild case, but they are just watching it and quarantining themselves because of that. So,
aside from the coronavirus, I think that is what's going to start the rioting.
Oh my God! If Tom Hanks dies from coronavirus, Trump is definitely not getting reelected.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to be the man who killed Tom Hanks and keep your job. That's just not how it works. But all joking aside, Tom Hanks seems like he's in very fine shape, so I'm sure he'll be all right. If you were excited to see James Bond later this month, well, you're going to have to wait a while because James Bond has been canceled till, pushed back till November due to the coronavirus, which seems like a long time. But considering they have Bond is one of those franchises that's such a worldwide franchise that I get why they want to make sure we're past this.
They rely a lot on worldwide sales.
Well, here, let's rattle them off. Okay, here we go. Mulan is coming out later this month. It may also be pushed back because it sounds like with the ban on groups of people getting together, there are some people pushing that theaters be closed, school districts be closed. Kind of like a soft closure of what Italy did, but just not quite as bad. So I don't know. We'll see. If you want to see, there's a lot of good movies coming out this month. Obviously, as with anything, if you feel like you don't want to risk it, that's up to you. It's everyone's personal choice whether they go out and see a movie or not. We went and saw Onward and we were fine, but use precautions. Don't lick the seats or something. But there are a lot of good movies coming out, but maybe check with the local theaters to see if they are going to be open before you buy tickets. Try and buy tickets or go. But Mulan is coming out later this month. No word on whether that's going to be pushed back or not. Things that we do know have either been canceled or pushed back to later this year. Emerald City Comic-Con, if you were planning on that has been pushed back till the summer. South by Southwest.
March Madness is just going to be the players on the court.
Yeah, March Madness is going to be the players on the court. You'll be able to watch it on TV, however, and it's such a big betting event, I can guarantee you that is not getting canceled. South by Southwest in Austin was canceled. WonderCon, I think down in California, is still on, but it's probably going to end up getting canceled. E3 was canceled. What else was canceled? Coachella was canceled. Well, it's pushed back till I think September. Basically, if you have a plan to go to any festival over the next month or so, I would probably check your tickets to see if they are refundable or talk to promoters and see what's going on.
And if you would like to take a flight somewhere, I think now is actually a good time to purchase tickets for airplane flight.
I'm going to be buying tickets to go see, me and my wife, I think this year for our anniversary, we decided in August to go see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child down in San Francisco. So we are going to, right now I can buy round-trip tickets to San Francisco for $150.
Per person?
Per person.
Oh my God.
So we are going to be buying tickets. We are a little nervous about our May Disneyland trip right now. I mean, we're planning on going unless they close Disneyland or cancel airfare or travel.
Oh, Disneyland. That is like
Disneyland didn't
stream to be canceling down.
Dude, I know. I mean, we'll see. The nice thing is like, and obviously every person has to make their own choice. Nobody in my family is at the high risk of getting severe cases. We don't have any elderly people in the house. Regardless of what my kids keep telling me, I'm not old yet, but nobody has any immune issues. We're all fairly young, so the chances of us, even if we did catch it, are low of getting really sick. So I mean, so we're just like, we're going to go. If we can still travel and fly, we can go. Hopefully some of this will, all I know is if we still don't have a handle or have any information come May, we're going to be in big trouble in general. So whatever. We'll see.
Ugh.
But yeah, so if anybody does have travel plans, it may be a good idea to check with whoever you book them through to see if they are refundable, or if you are planning on taking a trip. If it's not money that you can afford to just risk in case, I mean, hey, like $150 for an airline ticket, whatever. If I can't reschedule it, it's not a ton of money, but I would recommend travel insurance, and then possibly checking anybody's, like if I buy tickets for the Harry Potter play, I want to make sure, I'm definitely going to see what their cancellation and resale policy is, just in case. So
definitely keep track of that, because the airlines are going to be trying to save every penny that they can right now.
Yeah.
Until they ask for a bailout. So.
But yeah, I mean, hey, listen, if you feel good and you're healthy and you got a trip coming and you want to take it, absolutely. I mean, we have 1,000 cases in America. I think that number is probably really low. But even if we say have 10,000 cases in America, that's 10,000 cases over 330 million people. So your chance of getting, no matter what people say, this is dangerous, we should take precautions, but it's not like you walk out your door, the coronavirus is going to jump out of the bushes and get you. You still have a fairly low chance of getting coronavirus in general. So, if you're healthy, if you're not in one of the really at high risk age groups and you're not feeling sick or whatever, and you have a trip planned, then take it.
Yeah.
Just,
right.
Take precautions.
It's like we said at the beginning, wash your hands, be smart, check the CDC website, be smart, and just don't be a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
Come on, not that hard.
If you're 82 and have asthma, I recommend definitely not going somewhere with lots of people at this point. The one thing I will say is don't get on a cruise ship. Just don't do it.
Yeah, never go on a cruise ship.
Don't do it. Bad move.
I have not seen one thing that makes me go, you know what? I want to take a cruise.
I did take a cruise. It was okay. I don't know if I'd do it again. I definitely won't do it now that if they're all Corona cruises. Nope.
Nah, not going to do it.
Nope. So anyway. All right. So I think that's all the Corona talk we got for tonight. God, I'm tired of living this coronavirus craziness, but hopefully we'll get a grip on it.
We should have got Coronas to drink while we talked about it.
I thought about it, but I feel like that joke has been kind of played out already.
Yeah,
I did see a little baby. I saw a little baby Yoda meme like, "What? I got a case of Corona and a box of Corona." That's pretty funny. All right, moving. Okay, so here we go. News. We got some actual nerd news. Things going on. Hopefully that will put a smile on your face, like we said we want to do on this show. Our second to last show ever. We want you guys to be happy and not just talk about Corona. So, Ryan, it is time for the Corona Judo Chop of infectious disease destruction.
Oh, wow.
It's time for the uppercut to our not fearless leader for not getting our test out in time so we could actually get a handle on this virus, so that way people aren't dying by the buttloads, and we all know what's going on and our economy doesn't tank.
and then they'll finish it off with a whoosh, the Cobra Kai leg sweep of information that you should be getting from the CDC and other websites like the WHO that will help you combat the disease, and you don't need to buy a mask because that doesn't really affect anything. And make sure you wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands.
And then we're going to finish the whole thing off with the extra squirt of Purell.
No, it's more like I think of it as like going into like one of those cryopods, you know,
Just
and just like
and remember,
the whole body in it.
remember, a little goes a long way, and it only works if it's 60% alcohol. If you have any hand sanitizer that's not at least 60%, it is not killing shit. It's just killing your skin.
Yeah. And don't use real alcohol. That's just not going to.
That's a waste of alcohol, and if it's normal alcohol, it's only 40% alcohol anyway.
And don't try to make your own hand sanitizer. It's not going to work.
Well, I mean, you can. You can just get rubbing alcohol. Man, somebody asked. I saw John Oliver. All right, last Corona thing. I was watching the.
Don't even start to say no. Making your own.
Don't make your own. But I did watch the John Oliver. People should watch that Corona special he does. Pretty funny. There were some people calling in asking about coronavirus if they gurgled bleach, if that would help them not get the coronavirus. We on the Geek Dad Report highly recommend that you do not do anything with bleach on your body or especially in your body. It's bad. But we can't say if you gurgle bleach, you will not get the coronavirus because you'll be dead.
Yeah. Oh, come on, humanity.
We're doomed. All right, so here we go. We got news. What do we got? What's up first? I don't know. Let's see. We got to do. Should we do? We had some people die. We should probably give them the send-offs. All right, we'll make this quick because I want happy stuff. God. All right, so we lost a couple people this week. As far as we know, not to coronavirus. But hey, who knows? Max von Sydow, a legend in the nerd community and in the acting world in general. He was a Three-Eyed Ravens in Game of Thrones. He played Lars Van Tekka? I think Van Tekka. I don't know. In Star Wars. He's been, honestly, if you've seen a movie, he's probably been in it.
Yeah.
He was...
Peace out.
Yeah, okay. We just don't have it in us tonight to do it long. Anyway, he was 90. Lived a hell of a long life. Was in a lot of great movies.
Good way to live for a long time.
May the force be with you. Good journey. And you, my sir, my good friend, my friend, but not even my friend. You person, I've never met but watched act lots of times. Lived a great life. You win.
Yeah.
You won at life. People are sad that you have passed. They're not sad that when I pass. I'm just stalling. The second person we got to give a shout out. You know, it's hard to do these like shout outs to people who are over 90. Because like, what do you say? Hey, you died because you're super old, but you lived an awesome life.
You got to see a lot of crazy shit in your lifetime.
I know people get sad when they're like, you know, my so-and-so passed, pretty broken up. They were 101. I'm like, wait, 101? What are you broken up for? That's like they won. They won the lot. They won the life lottery.
Yeah, they were probably there for like when everybody was still riding horses to get around. I mean,
also we lost this week. Who knows if it's the coronavirus? James Lipton, mostly known for Inside the Actor Studio, and I think he was on Arrested Development.
Yeah, I never watched that show, but I heard a lot of good things.
He died at 93. I mostly know him for the Saturday Night Live parodies that they always did of him.
Yeah, that's all I know, honestly.
Will Ferrell was incredible as him, by the way, and so that's how I mostly know him. But you know what, James Lipton? You had a show that people know. You were parodied by SNL, which is the highest form of a compliment, and you lived a hell of a life at 93. So the Geek Dad Report says, good journey, and may the force be with you.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody who's not dead, but super old and should watch out, especially these times, Judge Judy. I don't know how old she is, but she's pretty old. She's ending her show after 25 seasons. The Judge Judy show is coming to an end.
Never was a real judge.
I don't know. I just know she yelled at people a lot and was a real jerk to people.
Well, all those shows are fake, right? They're not actual people that they get to come up there.
Are you telling me television isn't real?
Brian, I'm sorry to tell you, but there are a lot of not real things on TV.
I don't even understand that concept.
The Bachelor, completely fake. All scripted. I know that's your favorite show.
I'm done. I'm leaving. You know what? This news is I can handle all the things we've talked about tonight, but I can't handle the TV isn't real, Ryan. This is
tipping point.
This is devastating. All right. Well, some good news. Lucifer. Let's see. We're May. I believe May. We're getting the 5th season of Lucifer on Netflix. So anybody who's not familiar with this show, it was a Fox show loosely based on the DC comic. Had a kind of a cult following. Had pretty good numbers, but not what Fox likes, so they canceled it. It was one of Netflix's most watched shows, so they decided to renew Lucifer for a 4th and 5th season. And so they could get the streaming rights on Netflix. They could get the streaming rights, and they would continue the show. But it was always their intention to just do 2 seasons so they could wrap it up and then have a full catalog and do it. Well, once they started producing the shows, Lucifer became their most watched show of last year and the year before. And so they decided to go back and talk to the showrunners, and everybody, they needed new contracts. They needed to dish out, all new storylines and figure it out. But apparently they came to an agreement, signed up, and there will officially be a season 6 of Lucifer.
Yeah, I know that show's been a roller coaster for the fans of it, but I think you guys should hopefully
Lucifer's really good. Here's what happened with Lucifer. The first season was only like 13 episodes, and it's one of those shows that really is a better show when it's a shorter season. Because it's kind of a procedural, but it's also a genre, storytelling, I don't know, where every episode, so it's your typical show where you have one big storyline, and then you have every week you have a different murder mystery that kind of leads into it, right? So it works good for short periods of time. Well, then the second season, it was a huge hit, and the second and third seasons became 24 episode seasons, and it just drug on way too long, and so the ratings dropped. And anyway, the final season, they shortened it up. By that point, they'd already made their decision. So what's cool about Netflix is that they're only 10 episode seasons, so you can really blow through them. They're really fast and crisp. So I don't know. I think it's a really fun show. The guy who plays Lucifer is amazing. The whole cast has a lot of chemistry. It's got a lot of really good actors. And I don't know. I would recommend everybody check it out. Streaming now on Netflix. I
would like to watch it at some point. I can't guarantee you when.
I mean, for you, it'd be a great background show. I think you'd really like it. It's something that'll make you laugh and smile, but it's not something you have to pay too much attention to. It's pretty cool. A show that has unfortunately been canceled that I am very upset about. Fingers crossed that Netflix picks it up because it's also one of Netflix's most watched shows. The Magicians on Sci-Fi. So Sci-Fi is continuing their run of canceling good shows because they suck.
Yeah, because I don't think they really know what they're doing. So
yeah, Magicians actually has pretty good ratings, but after 5 seasons, people are up for new contracts, getting pay raises, and the show isn't exactly cheap. So I think it's one of those ones that the cost just got more than Sci-Fi wanted to pay, even though it is one of their higher rated shows. And they canceled it. So
rated shows, and one of the few shows they had left. So
yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, they're retooling. From what I read, they have like 4 or 5 new original shows coming out this fall. So they're it's a typical Sci-Fi. They come out with a new show, run 1 or 2 seasons, cancel it, and then do new shows. So I don't know, whatever. We'll see. Hopefully, like I said, Netflix might pick this one up. This was really popular on their streaming service. And it's a really good show. I really liked it. But the good news is if the Magicians knew that they may not get renewed this year, apparently the writing was on the wall a little bit. So they wrote the season finale to also work well as a series finale. Mm-hmm. So it won't be a show that has like a giant cliffhanger ending and you're never going to get closure like a lot of other shows we like.
Come on, Sci-Fi.
Let's see here. Spawn, if you're a big Spawn fan, apparently a couple of bits of good news came out this week. So Spawn has Todd McFarlane is going to direct it, and apparently he came out and said that it has been officially greenlit based off the success of the Joker. They are looking, sounds like people are looking for rated R comic book properties that are dark and gritty that they can put out there. Jamie Foxx apparently is still attached to play Al Simmons, the titular character, and well, we'll see.
What did you think of the original Spawn? Did you like it when it came out? Because I didn't mind it at all.
I was a big Spawn fan. Listen, the movie was a very 90s movie. I thought it felt like every other 90s kind of superhero movie. Yeah. I wasn't really a big fan of it, though, because one, it was so different than the movie or than the comic book. They didn't even bother to make it rated R. I mean, it is absolutely a property that is not PG-13.
Yeah, it was definitely. Was it rated? It was PG-13.
Yeah, it was PG-13. You know, John Leguizamo I thought was really good as the Violator, but Michael J. White was okay as Spawn, but the other problem that I had with it is that his cape was hardly in it at all, and mostly he ran around without his cape due to budgetary reasons. They couldn't figure out a way to animate it right. But Spawn is a character that his cape is as much a part of him. It's like Doctor Strange, right? Like his cape is alive and it's part of him, and you have to have it in the movie. It can't just be like randomly show up. It was I had a lot of issues. I mean, whatever. For the times, it was fine.
Yeah. And like you said, it's not like they have the technology that they have now.
Yeah.
You know.
I think they could do a really good Spawn movie now with what they have. My only concern is Todd McFarlane's never directed a movie, so you know, I know he knows this character, obviously he created it, but it doesn't mean he's going to be a good director. So I don't know, we'll see. I mean, I'll probably check it out. I'm a huge Spawn fan. I think Jamie Foxx is a good casting, so
I hope it turned out to be good.
Yeah, me too. We'll see. Let's see what else we got here. Apparently, Taika Waititi has been tapped to. He's going to be making 2 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory animated movies for Netflix.
Why not?
Sure.
I mean,
whatever.
I mean, if they can do Johnny, was it Johnny Depp?
For what?
The new one? Yeah.
Yeah, the new one was Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
That new one was weird, man. I did not like the new one.
No, I did not like it either. But I mean, why not? Just Charlie and Chocolate. I don't think that's like a sacred property.
Well, and to be honest with you, Willy Wonka, I like the movie, but even the '70s movie was fucking weird.
Yeah,
it's just a strange property. Taika Waititi's a strange guy, so I think this actually kind of be interesting. We'll see. It's on Netflix. We're already paying for it, so screw it. Why not watch it? So the Batman director Matt Reeves has been dropping a lot of pictures from the movie now that's underway. We talked a little bit on the last show about the new Batman suit. This week we got our first look at the Batmobile. I think he's dropping a lot of pictures because this is going to be a very different Batman, and I think he wants people kind of used to that idea before, which is actually pretty smart. Kind of get people used to the idea that this is not going to be your Christian Bale or your Dark Knights or whatever. This is going to be something completely different. But the new Batmobile, I think that my favorite comment that we got was somebody said, nice Batmobile. It looks like this Batman lives his life 1/4 mile at a time. Because his car absolutely looks like it should be driven by Vin Diesel.
You know, it's the thing about these Batman photos they've been putting out. That not one of these photos has gotten me like remotely excited about what they're trying to do with the movie.
Yeah,
well, and I'm not sure if that's like what they're trying to do on purpose or if it's just.
I definitely think they're going back to, this is very much going to be a Batman year one Batman. I think they said this takes place with only the second year Bruce Wayne's been Batman. So, I mean, they're trying to do an early Batman detective story. I think it'll be good. I think part of it is I'm just kind of tired of Batman, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Give me like Blue Beetle or something. I mean,
we had the original Adam West Batman, which was different, and then we had, the Michael Keaton Batman, which was crazy until it went just insane, and then we had all the Joel Schumacher Batmans, which was just what the hell was that? And then we got a really good Batman with Christian Bale, and I actually really like Ben Affleck, but they didn't even finish that story before now we've got a new Batman, and I'm just like, ugh.
You got Martha'd out.
I'm just a little bit like. I get that Batman's a big moneymaker for them, and I get that like they didn't like the direction of Zack Snyder, so they decided to reboot it. But I mean, literally, we didn't get the finish of the Ben Affleck, Bruce Wayne, Batman storyline before now next year, we're going to have an all-new Batman. And I'm just like, I just don't care. Like you say, give me a Booster Gold or a Blue Beetle. Hell, give me a Green Lantern movie. Just give me something different. I just don't even care.
Or Shazam.
I don't want any more Joker. I don't want any more Harley Quinn. I don't want any more Batman. I don't want anything related to Batman.
Just Gotham needs to just be nuclear exploded. And
I mean, DC Comics has so many different things, heroes. I mean, just give me a Flash movie. Give me one Flash movie with a new Flash that's awesome. Just give me something. I just don't want any more Batman.
There's more than 2 cities.
Ugh, God.
In the DC universe, there's more than 2 cities.
So I mean, whatever.
What's in Gotham?
I am a big fan of Matt Reeves, and I actually think this movie would probably be pretty good. Whatever. We'll see. Something that I am actually kind of excited for, that I didn't think I needed. This is something I didn't realize I needed in my life until I actually read the premise, and then I'm like, I absolutely gotta have this. So Disney Plus has announced a whole lot of series. Obviously, they're doing all their Marvel stuff, and they've got some other things going on. But they announced that they are doing a Beauty and the Beast prequel series, right? But this is going to be starring. This has nothing to do with Beauty or the Beast. Now, there may be cameos in there. Who knows? But this is going to be starring Luke Evans and Josh Gad. So it is going to be a 6-episode mini-series musical, is what they're calling it, about the adventures of Gaston and LeFou.
You know, is he gonna go hunting? And like,
they're saying it's a 6-episode musical event, and they're bringing back the composer. No other actors are attached to star, but I don't care. Like, those two were the best part of Beauty and the Beast, and I love. Listen, Gaston is a jackass, but 6 episodes of those two doing like just being idiots across the French countryside sounds glorious.
I'll have to agree with you. That was probably one of my more favorite parts in the movie, and
even the animated movie, Gaston was great until he turned like super evil, kind of out of nowhere.
Let's see if all that stuff that they boast about Gaston is actually true.
Dude,
much of it is fake.
That would be amazing. You know what would be better is if like I'm kind of hoping it's all fake and he's just so narcissistic he can't see it.
Yeah.
But I do love that. Nobody fights like Gaston. No one shoots like Gaston. Nobody.
Then the first episode would be about him like going into a fight and just totally cheating.
LeFou was the first openly gay character, I think, in the live action Disney movies. So, I have a feeling they're going to be exploring that a little bit too, of having him openly like in love with Gaston, but Gaston has no idea. This sounds hilarious to me. I cannot wait to watch this.
Great.
I cannot wait to watch this. I'm not even gonna lie. The moment it comes on, I'm watching it that moment. I cannot wait. Overacting 101. It's gonna be glorious. So no word on when that's coming out. I think it's gonna start shooting later this year, so probably sometime next year. For those of you who have Disney Plus who are like, God, when we get more Mandalorian, that's coming in October. But we're gonna start getting a lot of Disney Plus shows. Probably, I think once they start later, kind of this summer, I think we're gonna be getting a new show every single month for a long time. So they have a lot of content in the cooker. And something.
Until then, you can always watch all the other stuff they got on it. My daughter just discovered Agent Carter.
Oh, nice.
She watched like the first 4 episodes of Agent Carter today.
Yeah,
she's like,
season 1 was really good.
Peggy's pretty bad. Like, Peggy's pretty awesome. Like, I don't. Peggy's a badass.
She is pretty awesome. I know. I think I'm gonna start watching. I gotta watch season 2 of DuckTales with my kids, the new DuckTales, and I think we're gonna start watching Gargoyles. I think I talked him into watching that with me. So.
My son and I watched like the first 3 episodes, and he was like, "Dad, this is really good." I'm like, hell yeah, it is.
Listen, there's some good stuff. I know a lot of stuff looks old, but it's really good. A show that I think is going to be good. I never played the game, but apparently HBO is doing a Last of Us series. So the guy who did Chernobyl is doing it. It's kind of a lone world survivor game. I don't know. Whatever.
Sounds good.
Why are people sharing? I got so many people sharing this post. What is this? Is this my... Oh, yeah.
What'd you do now?
I shared a post about the coronavirus, and everyone's sharing it. It's like true information about the coronavirus. It just keeps popping on my screen. So-and-so has shared this. So-and-so has shared this. I'm like, all right. Just give me all the likes. Just if you share my coronavirus, go to the Geek Dad Report and subscribe. All right, what else we got here? Last couple little quick things before we move on. Christian Bale has officially been announced as the villain of Thor: Love and Thunder. So if that movie didn't sound like it could get any better, well, it just did.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see Christian Bale be a bad guy.
Yeah, no word on who's playing, but hey, who cares? I can't wait to see that movie.
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares? Hopefully it's Batman.
Gonna start singing like a Newsies.
That'd be great. I forgot it was in Newsies. My kids were watching that on Disney Plus the other day. Lost in Space, Netflix show. Really great show. Highly recommend you check it out. Has been renewed for its third and final season. Apparently, the showrunners have saying that they always envision this as a 3-season show because each season's kind of like a long movie. So they had 3 chapters in the saga. It does make sense that it's coming to an end, but it's kind of sad because it's a really good show. I really enjoyed it, but highly recommend everybody check it out. Third season will be out probably later next year. There's a new Black Widow trailer, but we're not going to talk about it because I don't watch third trailers. Let's see here. So Disney's Avengers Campus has been underway at Disneyland. They've been building it. We knew it was coming out this summer. We didn't know when. Well, we officially have a time now. July 18th, it will be open.
Nice.
Yeah, they had their Disney had their shareholder meeting today, and they were kind of giving out some details about the park. Apparently, every single Avenger you've seen in the movies will be available to talk to. So they're going to have people in costumes of all the Avengers. There's going to be a Tom Holland voice Spider-Man ride that apparently gives you the sensation of how it's. I'm guessing it's one of those like kind of glider rides, like soaring over California, because it says it's going to give you the sensation of what it's like to web sling.
That'd be cool.
So it's pretty cool. There's gonna be a bunch of different bars, things you can buy. Apparently at the Avengers Cantina or whatever they're gonna call it, you can buy. They're calling it Thor's bottomless magical beer that refills itself. I don't know how that's gonna work, but definitely buying that.
All I know is that bottomless magical beer, and I'm in. And wait, do they go to the shawarma place? Like at the end of the first Adventures?
That'd be cool if they built a shawarma. No word on that. Apparently some of the merchandise is going to be really cool. There's obviously a ton of Avengers-themed merchandise. But one of the things they're going to be selling is the little spider bot that he has in his suit that he pushes and it opens up and it flies around? Apparently you can buy those. They're calling them spider bots and you can buy them.
What?
I'm hoping when I go in May they have some of that stuff on sale. Maybe some advanced. I'm going to try and get a bunch of as many spy pictures as I can while I'm there. We'll see. But I'm going to miss it by about 2 months, which is kind of...
I'm going to need to bring $10,000 the next time when we finally take our kids.
Dude, I already signed myself up for a lightsaber building thing, so I'm excited for that. So, I'll have my own lightsaber. All right, and then last, but let's see here. I think that's the last story. What do we got? Oh, we got 2 more stories, and then we're get out of here. Super Nintendo has announced, Nintendo has announced that they're launching a Super Nintendo World. They've partnered up with Universal Studios, so it's going to be in their Hollywood and Orlando locations. They're building an interactive throughout the park Nintendo experience. So apparently they have bracelets and you play games, and they're going to build like a whole little rides and Nintendo World.
And if you see any Goombas, you are free to run and jump on them.
No word if this is because Disney is taking the Simpsons license away from them at some point, and they're going to have to tear down the Simpsons land. We'll see.
That sounds very fun.
I have a sneaking suspicion that eventually Simpsons land will become Super Nintendo World, but we'll see. Considering Disney doesn't really like to share it, and they have their own theme parks. And then last but not least, Onward was the box office champ this weekend. We're going to talk a little bit about it in a second. Made $40 million, a little bit less for a Pixar movie than normal. A lot of Pixar movies open up to over $100 million, but this is the first original Pixar property in a while, and it's kind of sad to see it's not doing so well. People don't know whether it's because it's not catching on with people or if it's the fear of the coronavirus. But if you want to go out and see a movie this weekend, I would recommend Onward. It was really good.
Yeah, I would probably say it's a little bit of both.
Yeah,
I think, but it is right now.
So we posted on our Geek Dad Report about it, and I said it's not really for little kids, and a lot of people were like, "What? I'm going to take my kids. It's not a kids movie." So I did want to clarify real quick. I'm not going to give any spoilers for it. It was what you see in the trailers is pretty much what you get in the movie. There is some twists and turns, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. The advertising for this has been straightforward. When I say it's not really a kids movie, this movie, Pixar movies in general tend to kind of be about adult things in general. Most people know when you go to a Pixar movie, you're probably going to cry. It usually has some sadness. Like I said, it's about real life things. I mean, they kind of they hide them in a beautifully animated movie. But even like things like Toy Story are about growing up, about loss and friendship and all these different very adult things that people deal with. Onward, but a lot of times they're able to really hide them behind colorful toys and colorful cars and other things. This movie is a straight up, yes, it's fantasy, but it's a very plot driven movie. The first half hour is very talky talk. There's a lot of sad things that happen that deal with about fathers and sons and dealing with a death of a parent. It's very heavy. The whole movie is very heavy with these themes. Now, the second half of the movie really picks up a lot more. There's a lot more like fantasy-driven stuff, elements, magic, things like that, and it's more of kind of an adventure. The second half of the movie, but it's a really good movie. I really liked it. I think it's one of Pixar's better movies. It's just there was a lot of really bored children, small children in the theater because they wanted to see dragons and fart jokes and they didn't want to see two brothers.
Me.
I mean, even like sight gags. There was only like there was a pixie gang that was pretty funny, but for the most part, it's kind of like Zootopia. Yeah, it was orcs and dragons, but they were working at gas stations and they're not doing magical quests and swinging swords at each other. At least not until a little later in the movie. So it's I think this movie may have a hard time, and there's no little cute color, fun sidekicks like Olaf or, something to keep people. And there's this weird, like they have half of their dad, right? So they want to bring their dad back, and this is all in the trailer. They want to bring their dad back. They have a spell. They're able to do it, but because no one does magic anymore, they weren't very good at magic, so they were only able to do half the spell. And so they have 24 hours to complete it. So when they do half this, they bring back half their dad. So they can bring back their dad for an entire day, but they only brought back half of them. So the movie's basically are them going on a quest to find what they need to be able to bring him back, the rest of him back. And so half the movie, the weird, funny sidekick, like that everybody's supposed to laugh at, is like a body from the waist down. It's really kind of weird.
Yeah.
And kind of creepy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we're still going to try and see it in the theater.
No, I think you and your kids will really like it. I mean, obviously prepare to be sad, but in like, mostly a good way, but it's a really good movie. I think families would like it. I just want people to know going into it, this is not Minions. This is not Toy Story. This is not going to probably entertain your 2 or 3-year-old. This is a lot of talking, especially early on, that sets up for a really good second act, and it's a really good movie. I think it's an important movie. I think, it deals, but like I said, it deals with a lot of heavy family stuff and about loss and tragedy and moving on and growing up. I mean, it's a good movie. I would recommend people watch it. I'm kind of bummed that 40 million, because it really does set up where I think this could be a really cool franchise. Like, I think the sequel could be a lot better than even the first one, but
yeah. And plus, Tom Holland and Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt is hilarious in this, by the way.
Yeah. So
I think you'll really enjoy it. I mean, I would recommend people go see it, but
you just ruined the whole movie for me. But
I didn't tell you what happens, did I? Nope. I just told you everything I told you. You could see in the trailer, Ryan. You son of a bitch. And that is the news.
It was good.
It was good. Okay, so I know we had some things we want to talk about. I already talked about Onward. I know you've seen a couple things. Do we want to do our questions first and then talk about those? Or do you want to talk about them and then do our questions?
Let's save the questions for last.
All right. So me and Ryan figured, since we hadn't talked to you guys in a while, we've had an opportunity to watch a few things and see a few things. So we thought we'd give out a few kind of quick recommendations, I guess. Just kind of not even recommendations, but just some stuff we've been watching, our thoughts about it. And
yeah. We only really need to talk about the stuff that we really like. So
yeah. I don't know. Do we want to talk about things like? Do we want to talk about like Altered Carbon season 2?
We'll just say it's not the same as season 1.
Yeah, if you guys like Altered Carbon, you probably already see season 2. If you're thinking to yourself, I liked it, but it felt weird, you are not alone. This clearly had the budget hacked in half for this because it did not look as expensive. The show itself was very much neutered for a wider audience. I think they thought if they toned down the sex, violence, language, they might be able to get more people. I do not think that is going to be ends up happening with it, but we'll see. But it's all right. It's fine. It's okay.
It's all right, but it's not as good as season 1.
Not even close.
That's all we really need to say.
All right, what else do you want to talk about? What'd you see?
Hunters.
Don't spoil it. I'm on episode 6. I got 2 more, or 7. I got 2 more.
You haven't finished it yet?
No, I told you I've been busy.
What the hell, man? But okay, so
so real quick, the last episode I watched was the one where they were gonna drown the Nazi in the goggles and the snorkel, but they ended up just. That's the last episode I saw.
Yeah, you still got like 3 or 4 more episodes to go.
Okay, well then I got a little ways to go. So let's just talk about the first half of the season then.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a bunch of people that are hunting Nazis, and I think
it's a bunch of led by some Jewish Holocaust survivors.
Yeah, and it takes place in I think the 1960s,
70s.
And
it's 70s, Ryan. We've talked about this because it's Star Wars. He saw Star Wars in the opening episode.
Yeah, so it's basically they're just trying to find the Nazi, like the head kind of guys that were at some of the camps that they know about, and that were brought over to America by the United States government. So they don't think these people should be around and get to enjoy, the American life that they're trying to, build for themselves.
And it's. I've heard some people complain about it. It is a very stylized show. It's very violent. It reminds me a lot of a Tarantino movie. Like if Tarantino made a show about Nazi hunters for Amazon, it definitely feels like this could be that.
Yeah, Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, it's very Inglourious Bastard style.
Yeah.
Which means it's over the top, and occasionally it'll cut to some random commercial that is just hilarious.
Yeah. Some of them have been pretty funny.
Well, and I think they use the humor to offset how dark the material is.
Yeah,
because it's pretty dark. Like, there's some vicious shit in this show.
Yeah, but I mean, I've watched the whole season. Definitely the last 2 episodes where they do some pretty big, like reveals and stuff like that. Like my wife and I, audibly said what, and like shouted, when stuff happened.
The first couple episodes the first episode was really good. The next 2 were kind of slow, but it's definitely picked back up again. It's just
definitely the first 3. I mean, and these are full 1-hour shows.
Yeah, well, the first episode's an hour and 40 minutes. It's like a little mini movie.
They're not cutting them short. So be prepared to you're sitting there for a full hour.
Yeah.
But the first 3 episodes are definitely like Brian said. I think they're a slow burn.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to set everything up. But then once they kind of set everything up, they just kind of build at it from there. So
yeah, it's been pretty crazy. So I definitely recommend it. It's on Amazon. Very good show. I watched what else did I see? I watched Jumanji. The second one. What was it called? The next.
Oh, the
next
video.
Level? Well, whatever. Yeah. Jumanji 2/3. I don't know. The latest Jumanji. It's pretty good. I liked it. It's a lot of the same with the first one. The kind of added differences in this one is they bring more characters into the game, and they bring a couple of grandpas played by Danny DeVito and Danny Glover. It was for the most part it was pretty fun. The kind of gag runs a little. Having The Rock run around like he can't hear, gets a little old. But I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. I definitely think the first movie was a little bit tighter story. They had less characters, so it was easier to kind of put a tight story together. But if you like Jumanji, I would highly recommend checking out Jumanji: The Next Level. I just bought it, but it's definitely at least worth the rent. If you really like Jumanji, buy it. Your kids are gonna love it. My kids thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. The missus didn't like it as much as the first one, but I think it's good. I think it was fun.
Yeah. See, another show my wife and I watched recently was I'm Not Okay With This.
How was that? Is that good?
It was really fast. It goes, you kind of fly through all the episodes. There's like 7 or 8 episodes, and they're only like half an hour. It feels like the first 3 or 4 episodes are trying to figure out like is it trying to be like a quirky Juno movie. And my wife and I kept getting confused because it's set in today, but everybody dresses as like the 80s. And we're just trying to figure out like what's going on with
Ryan,
that.
That's because today, in these days, everyone dresses like they're in the 80s. All the 80s stuff has come back.
I guess so, but it's, I don't know. Like my wife and I could not put our finger on like why we kept watching them, but we did get through the entire first season. Like I said, it's a quick watch. Basically, it's like a girl just trying to discover herself, and she apparently has some superpowers or something.
Let's check it out. It looked cool. And like I said, it's on Netflix, so why not? We
it's
watched
definitely like a teenage movie, a teenage show, coming of age, that kind of stuff. So
we finished this week. This week was the last episode, the final episode of the McMillions documentary on HBO, and let me just say, it was pretty incredible. I'm not gonna lie, it was one of the more fun. A lot of times you watch documentaries and they're kind of heavy and about stuff that like is people getting murdered or just terrible things that make you feel like the world's gonna end. This one was it was a fun, quick, breezy 6-episode documentary about the scandal about people who stole over $20 million worth of prizes from McDonald's from the Monopoly game. They were cheating at the Monopoly game, and it ends up involving gangsters and backstabbing and betrayals, and like it's crazy. It was a really good show. I would highly recommend checking it out. I will say the last episode is a little bit of a downer because it's kind of fun. There's this FBI guy who's just crazy. He's insane. He's hilarious. But then at the very end of the episode, all the people who are involved are all talking about it freely throughout the thing. But then by the time you get to the end, you actually see the real consequences it's had on real people's lives. And then it's kind of one of those shows that's like, oh, this is fun. And then you're like, oh, this is kind of a downer. But it ended up being pretty good.
Try and see if I can watch that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. McMillions on HBO. It's I'd recommend it. It's a good documentary.
Yeah. See, the last one I have, my son and I, we had a boys' night because my wife and daughter were out, and we finally got around to watching Godzilla King of Monsters. And my son is 1,000% a go for anything that has to do with like this monster universe kind of stuff. Apparently, so we watched the original Godzilla like a couple months or so ago, and he told one of his friends at school.
Wait, the original one from like 2014 or like the original like Japanese?
The recent one.
Okay.
And so apparently he told one of his friends at school about it, and one of his friends, oh yeah, that was a really cool movie. But then apparently they spent the whole like rest of the week researching everything about Godzilla, and so my son knows like every single character ever created in Godzilla, and why like Godzilla is the king, and he's fought and all that stuff. And so during the whole Godzilla movie, he's just like shouting like all these random facts at me, like, what the hell are you getting all this shit from?
Yeah, that new movie, the new movie's a little long, and the human plot is kind of crazy, but
the human plot's dumb. I just want Godzilla.
There's about 8 scenes in that movie that I would like to freeze frame and turn into posters and hang on my wall. Like some of the animation, like when the Hydra is doing like the wings spread on top of the volcano with the lightning crackling behind it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so cool. Yeah, that's a good movie. I liked it.
But Lincoln is really excited. He wants the Godzilla vs. King Kong movie like now.
Yeah, I do too. Has he seen Kong Skull? Has he watched Skull Island?
That's what we're gonna watch next.
Oh,
And
I'm gonna warn you, that one's a little scary, dude. That's a good movie.
Dad, when are we gonna watch it?
It's a little bit. It's a little bit of a horror movie, honestly. It's a pretty good movie. I like Kong Skull Island. That was
I
pretty
think
good.
it might be pushing like what he's used to, but
Yeah.
I think he can take it. He's almost 13, so I mean, he should be fine.
Well, I don't think I had anything else I watched. I'm trying to remember. Nothing new anyway. We've been trying to catch up on some older movies that we haven't really watched. But
Yeah. It definitely we're still in the age of there's too much shit to watch. So
I'm almost done with. I guess my last is I got 2 episodes left of Man in the High Castle. So
last season, this is the final season, right?
final season, right? It's I would recommend this to some people. It is definitely a slow burn show. All 4 seasons have been slow. I don't really think it's a very good binge watchable show, but I do recommend people watch it. I do think it's watch 1 episode a week or a couple episodes in a week and then a couple episodes in the next week. But I think it's a show that's more relevant to today than we probably would like to admit, and it's really well acted and well done. I think it's been a really good show. So I'm Man in the High Castle on Amazon. 4 seasons, 40 episodes. I would recommend it.
Yeah.
So all right, cool. All right, so before we get out of here, Ryan, I think we asked the faithful 15 for some questions, and they came through. We had a bunch of questions, so we figured we'd answer them tonight.
Yeah, we had some pretty good questions. Let's start off. We got one question from David in Washington, and he wants to know, what are your best post-apocalyptic tips? My best tip I can give you, David, is to make a bug-out bag, a backpack. Just put some basic supplies in it. So in case something, and keep it in your car or in your closet or something like that. Just so you have all the basic supplies you need if you have to, leave your house. So,
are we talking like post volcano? Or are we talking like the end of the world? Because I
think where we are right now, I think it's a good one for end of the world.
I'm going to say, because judging from our current response right now, there's nothing you can do. Just accept their fate and die in your house. That's what's going to happen.
Just have enough supplies so after you leave your house and you have nothing to do and you need to go start I mean,
if we talk starting from scratch, I mean, obviously you want to get some guns and some ammo, and then you probably want to get a whole bunch of canned foods, maybe a solar panel so you can still, watch your old bootleg DVDs. I don't know, man.
Well, you still got power.
Get go buy an anarchist cookbook. See, it's an old book that they had that taught you how to make gunpowder, how to grow things, how to do all these, how to survive the apocalypse. But I think it's all I don't think you can buy it anymore, and I think all copies are on the FBI's watch list. So if you get it, just be prepared. The FBI is going to stalk you until the apocalypse happens. I don't know. Get some books on how to farm, how to defend yourself, how to build a moat. I don't know.
Thank you, David. That's all we got for that question.
Watch Mad Max a bunch of times. Figure out how to turn your vehicle into a murder drone. I don't know.
I'm just gonna jump off the stuff and say, "Witness me."
Listen, let's all be honest, man. If apocalypse comes, nobody's gonna work together to rebuild civilization. Everyone's gonna be every man for themselves, and it's gonna be real bad.
It's gonna be super bad.
Learn how to use nunchucks or a katana blade.
It's not gonna be a feel good, one of those feel good movies where humanity, comes together
and unites. No, this is not gonna be this one.
United States is not gonna happen.
Oh God, yeah. All right. What's next?
Let's move on.
Thanks, David. Thanks for bringing it down even further than it already is. Congratulations.
Okay. This is an even more happier question.
Oh, here we go.
So from Jeff, he wants to know, you just discovered a new virus.
Oh.
What is it called?
Very topical.
And what are the symptoms? I discovered a new virus. I'm going to call it the Thomason virus, just for complete name recognition. So I got that in the history books. And the symptoms are going to be you uncontrollable pooping. Just can't stop pooping.
Oh, I got the Thomason. I got to take a dump. I'm gonna go fun. I'm gonna go. I discovered the Avengeritis. It's where your muscles grow twice as big and you're completely ripped and your metabolism is like super great, so you never get fat, and then you get superpowers.
Oh, that's a good. I guess I could have gone with a happy version of the virus.
I
That
was
actually,
gonna, I was gonna go with midichlorianitis, where you find out that there's a virus in your body that gives you access to this mystical thing called the Force, and you can use to levitate things. But I just thought that was a really stupid idea. Nobody would ever come up with that.
I don't think anybody would even like believe that.
I just figured if I brought that into the world, everyone would make fun of me and probably force me to sell my company.
Yeah, I'm glad you went the other route, Brian.
Avengeritis.
So,
watch out, it's out there. Dude, imagine if that was a virus. People would be like, I need to catch this. They'd be licking guardrails and eating, I don't know, 3-day-old donuts, trying to catch whatever they can, trying to catch the Avengeritis. I gotta catch it. I need muscles and laser beams.
mm-hmm. That sounds good. All right, thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Next up, Joshua. Sorry. He wants to know: is the coronavirus actually an alien attempt to destroy all human? All human? Just one human? I think it's trying to kill more than one.
I don't think it's aliens. I think aliens. I mean, I guess this is like a reverse War of the World situation where they're like, "You got us back in the 50s. Now we're getting you now," with their own virus. I think aliens would come up with a better way to kill us, but I do think if there's any like weird nefarious people behind this, it's one of two people. It's either A, the Russians, because they apparently have 0 cases of coronavirus, which is a little suspicious if you ask me. It could also, I actually think if anybody's behind this, it's more of the happening situation where nature has decided to take its revenge on us because people are eating like baby armadillos, and yeah.
See, I always thought that the aliens were going to attempt to destroy us all with like a virus kind of thing, that it would make us like more delicious.
How if they killed the virus, are they going to be able to probe our anuses though?
Yeah. So I do think it's actually an alien attempt, but they were going to try to make us like, more tasty.
It's true.
Basically. Right.
I think the coronavirus was released by Budweiser in an attempt to crash Corona stock, which they are successfully doing.
This is the marketing pitch gone wrong. Out of hand.
Wow. Dilly, I guess.
Let an intern run with it.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. Crazy interns. That's who's responsible for this madcap.
Thank you, Joshua. See, now we have our last questions from... Ooh, this one, actually, I just wanted to make a note that on the post thing, there's a little diamond, and it says top fan.
Yeah, I turned on our top fan icons.
So, Christine, top fan, who also has a very long question. I guess I'll read the whole thing, because she wrote it, and she's a top fan, so we might as well say the whole thing.
Top fan.
So she's going to say, you faithfully listen to your podcast and often ask questions. They totally and completely forget about your question, making you feel sad and unappreciated. How do you retaliate? And then she says, kidding.
I mean, I don't know what podcast she's trying to retaliate against. They sound like a bunch of dicks. This is
the only podcast I know of that they ask for questions from their audience on a regular basis.
It's true.
So, I mean, all my other podcasts, they don't even give a crap about their fans' question.
It's true.
So, but her real question is, this is kind of hits me a little on the heartstrings here, but...
Yeah, Christine.
If you had to give up one of your senses, which would you give up and why? I don't know if Christine remembers this, but I'm actually going deaf and blind at the same time from a rare genetic disease. So I'm actually losing 2 of my senses. And I'm forced to now I have to give up another one. So
I think you could probably choose to, like, how about this? You get your sight and hearing back. But you have to give up one thing to get them back.
Yeah, I would rather have my sight So then at least I can learn sign language. If I go,
I if I had to give it one sense, I'd probably say the sense of smell. I feel like I could do without that. I'm allergic to most things anyway, so
yeah. Well,
plus I got two bulldogs, so then I'd be immune to farts.
A good dinner, you got a good like steak cooking
But if you
on
give
the
up your
grill.
sense of smell, does that mean you lose your sense of taste too?
No, they're separate.
All right, because I like to taste. I like ice cream too much. I couldn't imagine living life without being able to taste ice cream. So, but then again,
Stuff.
if I gave up my sense of taste,
tastes the same.
but then again, if I gave up my sense of taste, I'd probably be like yoked because at that point, like if it all tastes like nothing, you might as well eat healthy.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Well, I'll definitely keep. Man, what is it? So you got touch. I don't know if I want to lose my sense of touch.
I'm not losing a sense of touch. Screw that. There's too many things I like to touch, Ryan. Nope, not losing sense of touch. I think sense of smell. I think sense of taste is the only thing that can keep you alive. I think all your other senses, like your sense of smell, you need sometimes to help survive. How do you know if gasoline isn't like pouring out of your car? Eyesight obviously is important. Hearing is important.
My kids fart all the time. I don't need to be smelling that.
God, as much as I love ice cream, I'm gonna have to say I changed my mind. I'm gonna give up the sense of taste because then I can just eat crappy, like healthy food all the time, and I'll just be ripped. I'll be super. I'll be even more ripped than I am now, which is a lot.
You wouldn't get to taste like super good stuff.
I know.
I don't know, man.
I'd like to give up my sense of smell. You know what? Smell's got to go.
I'm just gonna go with. I don't care about my sense of hearing.
Wow.
I'll learn sign language. I'm supposed to.
You won't be hearing any sweet Metallica anymore.
I've been dealing with it my whole life, so.
That's true. All right. Fair enough.
Who wants to listen to a podcast of just me like sitting here signing at you, and then you trying to talk to me, with me not hearing you, and I'll just sign stuff at you back.
Yeah, anybody who listens to it instead of watches it'll just think I'm crazy that I'm just talking to myself.
Ryan, what are you talking about? Why are we?
What do I call the show? Me and my deaf friend. Everyone who listens will just think I've gone completely mad.
So after episode 200, we're going to start a podcast called Me and My Deaf Friend. And just Brian.
Great. You know how much hate mail I'm going to get from like hearing impaired communities? They're just going to crush me. I'll be canceled immediately.
I don't actually know sign language, so I'll get yelled at for like
this is crush us both. It'll be worse. It'll be terrible. Yeah. We should definitely do it.
Scrap that plan.
No, we're running with it. We're going with it. Let's put it on the board. Put it on the whiteboard.
Yeah. But that's it. That's all the listener questions we had.
Didn't you have a question on your page?
I already did the one on mine. Did you have one on yours?
Oh, no.
I don't think anyone responded to you.
They didn't. I posted it late.
You have no friends.
No, it's not that. Unlike you, I actually have to go out into the Corona minefield and work. I don't get to sit at home and do nothing.
Oh, wow.
All right, whatever. Well, I think that's the show.
Yeah.
I'd say you got any recommendations, but we already did recommendations. Do you have any other recommendations you want to give out before we leave?
Wash your hands.
Yeah, don't watch Outbreak or Contagion because that's not helping anybody right now. We don't need more paranoia. Support your local businesses while you can. Be smart. Try and help not crash the economy while the knuckleheads in charge figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Go eat out at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Or
at least get takeout.
Yeah. And just be a nice person.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, on that note, Ryan, I think that's it. Do you want to tell people where they can find us, or we're past that?
Of course, you can find us until the end of the month when everything goes dark on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report and Twitter at the Geek Dad Report. Where Brian is Brian53 and I'm Big Bruiser. We are also on Facebook at the Geek Dad Report, and you can find us on iTunes. So make sure you like, subscribe, I don't know if you really need to subscribe anymore.
No, we're
But
still gonna have new. Just because we're not gonna do this show anymore doesn't mean we're not gonna have new
pass
content.
over the subscriber to the, whatever
And we're
we
gonna
do.
keep the Facebook page alive because we'll still do nerdy stuff on that. So like, subscribe, and just do it all. We don't know what we got going yet, but we know we got something going.
And at least just let us know if you find something or you just want to talk to us. We're always here. No,
Always,
There you
we're
go.
always watching.
we're always watching. You start coughing, bam.
Don't worry about that. That was nothing.
We'll get tested.
Anyway, well, everybody, thanks for joining us for another episode. Until next time, until the series finale of the Geek Dad Report, I say adieu and stay healthy. And watch out for those corona minefields out there.
And stay awesome, everyone.
And if you're sick, stay home.
dirty. And wash your hand. Jeez.
Do it.
Oh.
Anyway, until next time, see ya.